Unit 1 summative dividing complex numbers. So if you remember, when we're dividing complex numbers, all it is multiplying, and you always multiply by the opposite of the bottom, or what's called the conjugate. So the opposite of 3i would be negative 3i, and if I multiply something to the bottom, I also have to multiply to the top, so negative 3i on top. Okay, now I'm going to ignore the bottom and just multiply the top, so I'm going to distribute that negative 3i. So negative 3i times 7 is negative 21i, and negative 3i times I is negative 3i squared. Okay, now ignore the top and look at the bottom. 3i times negative 3i is negative 9i squared. Okay, so once you multiply everything out, you look for your I squareds. Anytime you see I squared, you can cross it out. It's a negative 1, so it switches the sign. So I'm going to make that a positive 3 on top. On the bottom, cross out my I squared and make it a positive 9 on the bottom. And then remember, we always want I written last, so we're going to flip the top around, so it's going to be 3 minus 21i all over 9. And then you look for something that they all three would have in common. So 3 goes into 3, 21, and 9. So I'm going to divide them all by 3, and I will get 1 minus 7i all over 3. And that'll be my final answer. On the second one, 2i over 3 plus 5i. Again, we multiply by the opposite of the bottom. So the opposite of 3 plus 5i is 3 minus 5i. But if you do it to the bottom, you also have to do it to the top. So I'm going to distribute 3 minus 5i. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2i times 3, which is 6i. 2i times negative 5i is negative 10i squared. On the bottom, I'm going to multiply this all out. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times negative 5i is negative 15i. 5i times 3 is positive 15i. 5i times negative 5i is negative 25i squared. Okay, so I multiply everything out. Next step is to get rid of your I squareds. So you cross them out completely, and they are equal negative 1, so we change the sign. Make it positive 10 on top. Cross out the I squared on the bottom and make it a positive 25. Okay, and then I just need to rewrite my answer. So on top, remember, we want I to go last, so we're going to flip that around. So instead of 6i plus 10, I have 10 plus 6i. On the bottom, we can put our 9 and our 25 together, and 9 plus 25 is 34. And then our negative 15i and our positive 15i cancel out. And then you look at the 10, the 6, and the 34. Can anything go into all three? 2 can, so we divide them all by 2, and we get 5 plus 3i all over 17. And that's my answer. Go ahead and try these next two problems.